Welcome back, Nightfall. I've been keeping track of your combat time, and I have to say, your efficiency has gone up since we last met. That's good. Really good. This Chunky Seal's proud of you. The Skrakes and Flesh Pounds were no match for you, thus Horazine has sent an even larger, 8-legged monster your way. Hope you don't got arachnophobia, because this week we are going over one of the mini bosses you'll encounter. Weighing in at 6,900 pounds, let's meet the new queen on the block, the Queen Crawler. Born from Dr. Moorcroft's obsession with the mire, he's been able to create the first self-replicating Zed. Since this is a boss that we are discussing, I will be mentioning different behaviors as they do change depending upon the phase. Let's get into the numbers, shall we? Now, across all difficulties, her head health stays the same at 2 million. The reason for this is to prevent boss decapitation and an early boss death, because much like the other Zeds, you can decapitate them and kill them easier. Can't do this for bosses. So for the sake of this video, we'll only be looking at her body health for the difficulties. Once again, this is based off of the spreadsheet that will be linked in the description. Now these numbers are going to be for solo play. I did some more digging and found out that she does scale depending upon the players, and so do other Zeds. I'll be mentioning the other Zeds at the end. Now for normal and solo play, she only has 67,065 health to her body. On hard, this jumps up to 90,538. And on Hell on Earth, this is a big spike to 160,956. Once again, the numbers mentioned previously are in solo play. Now we're getting to where you add online and other players in the mix, and you're going to see that she is the tankiest boss. At 2 players, she has 241,434 health. At 3, 321,912 health. At 4 players, 402,390 health. At 5 players, 482,868 health. Now at 6 players, currently having the most health in the game out of any bosses, until this is updated with the Alpha Scavenger, which we won't know till then, she has a staggering 563,346 health with 6 players. She has the highest scaling among all the bosses, and with this health, she brings insane damage as she is able to down players between 1 to 3 hits at max armor. You must be careful around her, as a few mistakes can lead to a team being wiped. Now let's see what she's weak to level the playing field. She is weak to both heat and biological damage. Now from personal experience, it seems like this does not make as much as a difference due to her high health pool with multiple players. I have noticed that she does catch on fire easier, so that might be why she is weak to it. Biological, however, I have not noticed what that does to her at all. And she does have multiple weak points in each phases. So let's get into those. Also, if you know what biological does to her, please drop it in the comments. Phase 1. In Phase 1, this is where she spawns in and makes her way towards the player, along with a few baby crawlers accompanying her. In this phase, you can think of her as a little bit more passive, and she relies on shooting eggs at you to slow you down so that she can close the distance. You'll know when she does this, because for lack of better words, her ass is gonna inflate and show glowing pustules on the back. Shooting this does around 4 times the damage than normal. Occasionally, though, she will open her mouth to show a similar weak spot. Shooting this will do around 3 times the damage. However, this glowing weak spot in her mouth does not always show, thus shooting her in the head normally without it will do 2 times the damage. Her other methods of attacking are a few claw swipes, lunges, and jumping attacks. Once enough damage is dealt, she goes into phase 2, where she pumps up the aggression and uses her ability of the mire against you. Phase 2 is where she becomes more animalistic and is where a majority of teams go down. Her sack bursts will always burst on her back, showing another glowing weak point. Normally after this, she will immediately transition into a new attack where she digs into the ground into a purple mire portal, spawning baby crawlers. She then performs hit and run tactics from these purple pods beneath you. They will spawn beneath a player, and she can pick at random which one she wants to come out of. In solo play, this is not too difficult, as you know where she's going to come out of 99% of the time. However, with more players, you will not know, and your best advice is to keep moving and scatter. You do not want to be clumped up when she does this. Everybody needs a lot of room to move. When she charges at you from this hole, it can one-shot you, and if you go down early, she can trample you too, which will kill you and leave your team down a man. She can also execute you during this, which is where you can be saved, however, if you proc something like stun from an electric-based weapon, which is very hard to do. Now, after a few attempts of doing this, going back and forth under the ground, she will try to swipe or jump on the player. She does attack in 2s, meaning a double swipe combo. She'll either do a double swipe or a double lunge attack. Now her jump attacks she can do, from what I've seen, up to 4 times and target swap between the players. Once again, it is best to stay on the move and keep a lookout. Normally when this is done, she can transition effortlessly back into the mire and repeat the hit and run process all over again. Now when she does this as she's going into the ground, you can shoot her ass yet again on the glowing weak point. It is a combined effort to dethrone this queen. No one class can pull a majority of the heavy lifting. Everyone needs to focus her and stay on the move. It is a deadly dance of endurance, as she will whittle down you and your team's resources. This queen must be usurped, and with enough unrelenting firepower, you will bring her kingdom down and come out victorious. Now, before we end this, I want to apologize. I mentioned earlier in the video that Zed's health does scale depending upon the players. I was ignorant and did not look further into the spreadsheet. I am sorry for that. Thus, I have found new numbers for the Flesh Pound and the Scrake depending upon the players. The numbers in the previous video were based on solo play. I'm going to be showing a picture of them now on how much they scale. Now, for a lack of better words, with 6 players on Hell on Earth, which is what I'll be going with, the Flesh Pound will have 75,000 HP, while the Scrake will have 68,750 with 6 players. I am sorry that I did not do enough thorough research on that, and I feel that it was a disservice to y'all as I provided wrong information at that time. So these are the new up-to-date numbers for 6 players. Once again, I am terribly, terribly sorry. And I will do my best from now on to look further into the numbers and try to cover my ass, essentially, and dot my I's, cross my T's. I'm terribly sorry for this. But I do want to say thank you for all the support on these videos. And once again, I'm so terribly sorry for my mistake in the previous 2 videos, as I felt it was a disservice to not providing all of the information to y'all. Fortunately, that's life. It's the deeds that make the man and not his mistakes. And from now on, I will be much more thorough when releasing these. With that being said, what boss or enemy should I do next? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all y'all in the next one.